Diction, in its original meaning, refers to the distinctive vocabulary choices and style of expression in a poem or story. On the other hand, oratory is a communication skill that involves delivering impactful speeches and presentations. Speaking well in public requires persuasive and argumentative abilities through rhetoric in order to inform or convince the audience about a particular idea. Great examples of oratory can be found throughout history with leaders and thinkers who, through their words, transformed decades and nations. Among the realms of power, the ability to express oneself is one of the most important, as those who do not speak are not known. William Franklin Graham Jr., known as Billy Graham, was an American evangelical preacher, Arminian theologian, and Baptist pastor. He served as a spiritual advisor to several United States presidents and was a prominent member of the Southern Baptist Convention. His ability to preach the word of Christ amidst crowds led him to become one of the greatest evangelists of all time, reaching over 150 million people throughout his life and converting millions to Christianity. His main skill was oratory, speaking for hours and enabling the audience to understand the word of the Creator, ultimately gaining millions of faithful followers for God. Martin Luther King Jr. was an American Baptist pastor and political activist who became the most prominent figure and leader of the civil rights movement in the United States from 1955 until his assassination in 1968. He fought tirelessly for the principles of freedom and equality and for civil rights in America. Through peaceful resistance against racial prejudice, he was awarded the Nobel Peace Prize. Examples like these demonstrate that the art of expressing oneself is a way to gain power and notoriety through words. Princes, kings, courtiers, leaders, and politicians have reached great centers of power through oratory, whether they be good or bad. In this video, I would like to express a bit about the power of diction and oratory and show how to improve your communication with simple and brief tips. Without further ado, let's get to the video. The power of words can cause more harm than the edge of a sword, generating conflicts, wars, and destruction. The way you express yourself and communicate says a lot about you, as 99% of concentrations of power are related to the ability to express oneself. After all, if you are a quiet and shy individual, it is likely that you will not reach great realms of power in your life. As Robert Greene said in the book, The 48 Laws of Power, you can go live in the forest and be silent. You will have peace, but you will not have power. In line with the author's thinking, nobody wants to have less power. We all want more power, whether it be money, fame, influence, or skills that impress others. Diction and oratory are a form of power, so you must master the art of conversation. As Baltasar Gracian said, "Speak and you will be known." For some, the art of conversation lies in speaking without art, letting it flow freely, like clothing. The idea may be valid when it comes to conversation among friends. However, in higher circles, conversation should be more formal, revealing the excellent substance of the person. In order for the conversation to be well received, it must adapt to the character and intelligence of the interlocutors. Do not play the censor of words, as you will be seen as a pedantic grammarian, and even less so the monitor of opinions, as this will make others avoid you, hindering your communication. In conversation, discretion is more important than eloquence. And do you usually speak in an appropriate and well-organized manner? Because I notice that some people ramble too much to say something, speak out of order, or stutter. Often, this is not their fault, but even if it isn't, it is possible to correct these speech patterns. Attitudes and strategies can be developed to make communication clearer, more objective, and enjoyable to listen to. In this video, I will share some brief and efficient tips for you to improve your diction, making your speech clearer, more objective, and enjoyable to listen to. Diction is the way a person articulates and pronounces words in a language, as highlighted at the beginning of the video. It is important for the articulation to be clear with the correct intonation so that the text is effectively understood. Diction is not just about speaking beautifully, but also about expressing oneself naturally, without artificiality. In the video, I will not teach cheap tricks. The goal is to present a process that will take time, but will ultimately help you speak better and develop good diction. To start, I emphasize the importance of pauses in speech, something observed in the protagonist of the series Peaky Blinders, Thomas Shelby. He speaks, takes a 2-second pause, continues with a 1-second pause, and so on. This technique controls the rhythm of speech, avoiding the risk of rambling too much and stumbling over words. Another essential tip is to train diction and speaking skills by pronouncing difficult words and practicing tongue twisters. Set aside 10 minutes of your day for this training. Reading text aloud in front of a mirror allows you to observe facial expressions and improve intonation. Furthermore, speaking to oneself is an excellent habit to develop discourse. I personally practice this training regularly. After reading a book, I explain it to myself as if I were addressing a large crowd. I have been doing this since I was 15 years old. In school, I was known for never being shy about expressing myself in public, which is why I was often called upon to give speeches in lectures or presentations where more than 1,000 students were watching. Through my ability to express myself well and my audacity, I gained certain spheres of power. The power of audacity goes hand in hand with oratory, but that is a topic for another video. Training with these 3 practices, tongue twisters, reading aloud, and solo speaking, will significantly contribute to improving diction. Lastly, practice in public is crucial. Initially, there may be nervousness, but that is part of the learning process. After mastering diction in everyday situations, graduate to larger public speeches. Don't worry about possible initial mistakes. They are part of the learning process. These techniques can help you express yourself in a more practical way, giving you a great ability, the ability to express yourself. With this, you will have power in various spheres, whether it's at school, at work, or in a conversation. However, be careful not to try to play the grammar teacher. That would be a mistake. Speak clearly, objectively, and correctly, articulating your knowledge and making the listener understand what you are saying. I hope these tips help you express yourself better. Thank you very much for your attention, and see you in the next video.